What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna put a little bit of work into the wagon because tomorrow we're gonna be taking it to the dyno. You guys may notice a little change in the quality of this video. I am actually recording off my brand new Hero 8 GoPro, and I just bought it today. I turned my Canon G7X in for repair, which is gonna take like up to 5 weeks. I'm not sure why it takes up to 5 weeks, but it's probably going to be gone for a couple of weeks, and I need a new camera to record with. And I picked up the 8 because it was kind of, it kind of fitted the pocket a little bit, because a 9 is like $400, and I wasn't going to spend $400 for a GoPro. So I got the Hero 8 Black Edition, and I'm going to be using this until the camera comes back. This one feels a lot nicer. It does have a microphone up in the front, which is better than the last one that I have, which I'm still going to use for like suction cups on the cars or whatever. The last one I was using is a Hero 5, and hopefully this one has a little bit better quality as far as the guys explained to me at Best Buy. But we are back here in the garage a little bit late because I was doing a lot of running around trying to get things sorted out. So I want to show you guys the hood on the wagon. If you guys haven't seen the last video, we painted the hood on the wagon from the super dark brown to somewhat a closer shade of brown. Not 100% matched, but it looks a ton better. Check it out. 2 coats of base, 3 coats of clear. Now you can see, obviously, it's somewhat of a same shade of brown, maybe a little bit shinier because it's fresh versus 30-year-old paint, but it looks freaking awesome opposed to the dark brown it was before. I did paint underneath. Actually, let me open the hood real quick. I'm gonna have to find a way to get this guy back on. Underneath the hood, I reinstalled all of the grommets, these little rubber bushings right here, all of these guys, windshield wiper nozzle and hoses. But if you look, the brown underneath the freaking hood looks freaking amazing. Now, the only thing that had happened in between paint was the gun spit out a little booger on the hood from, I think, the second coat, but this can be polished off. Although I am not worried about this at all. Now, you know how it goes when I have the stuff kind of just chilling around here, hanging out, a lot of stuff hanging around. What had happened was this dent right here came about because I was removing this, which the hood was hanging on right here when I was spraying it, and it came off and dented the hood. I can never win. I can never win. I didn't really explain it in the paint video. I didn't sand off all of the brown, so you can kind of see a little spots here and there, right? Not a big deal, I don't think. And another thing was I left the white on it to kind of tone the brown a little bit to be lighter, because the bumper actually came out darker, which was also a paint match in the can. But I mean, not all paint are mixed exactly the same. So I left the white on it, and I didn't spend too much prepping the hood other than just sanding it down. I didn't repair the dents on it, and there are a lot of swirl marks because I didn't really do this by hand. I just wanted to get the job done. And sometimes when I look back at it, I kind of wish I took more time on it, but this is a flip car. I mean, this is more decent than the dark brown that was on it. So let's take one more look at the hood, guys, before we get down to working on this car today. I don't know, does it look good? Leave a comment down below. So yesterday I went to the pick and pull. Leo woke me up in the morning. He called me and said, hey, there's an EF sedan in the junkyard and it has power steering. So crawled out of bed, rushed myself all the way over there. I mean, not really rushed myself because it took me an hour from the initial phone call, but I went to the junkyard. We snagged the pulley. We have the power steering bracket, the correct bracket for the power steering on the EF. And we have the power steering cooler. The cooler is the right diameter I need, opposed to the EG one I bought because they're smaller tubed. So hopefully all this will, button up perfect. And let me give you guys a little comparison. I did buy the OBD1 power steering bracket a little while ago, and 100% different, right? So I'm hoping all the bolts would transfer. So I just removed the front bumper off the car because we have to install the power steering cooler right here. And there's a reason why I put the intercooler in the back, right? If the bumper clears the power steering cooler being in the front, the intercooler being in the back should obviously fit. The car itself still has all of the power steering lines, hard lines, and everything. The pump, everything is still here, just kind of pushed off to the side. The two barb at the bottom here is, you know, from the pump and the reservoir itself. So it's going to go in the cooler. I'm gonna have to find a way to make it fit here because I cut this side off and the threaded portion is gone for this end. So this is the OBD1 EG power steering cooler, and unlike the EF style, these brackets are fused into the hardline itself. The OBD1 is a removable bracket. You can see that right there. And I just took this one off right there and installed it on this one right in the middle. Now again, I don't have the support right here to bolt this guy down, so I put this bracket right there so I can use this hole to mount it up to the T bracket, and that should be pretty stable. Granted, it is behind the bumper too, so it's not going to move around much. So now I just gotta, I'm probably going to clinch nut this, riv nut. So mark it out, drill it out, press one in, bolt it down, and that'll be that. So we have the power steering bracket installed, and one of the main things about having the power steering in place is to get the dump tube fabricated. So I've been putting this off because I don't know how far the power steering pump itself is going to sit here to know how much of a bend I'm going to need for the dump tube to go straight down. So I'm glad that we finally found that, and I kind of left all the hardware, so I'm gonna have to go through my box to find the hardware to get this guy secured on here and the bolt needed for the bottom one right there. I need to run to the parts store to grab a power steering belt because I left it in the yard, and the one in the yard was old anyways, and I need to go buy spark plugs so we can swap it out at the dyno tomorrow. Gonna have to retire my Gatorade bottle. Big shout out to Leo, because if you guys seen a couple videos ago, he had this one at the swap meet and he was like, yo, if you need it, take it. So got a new OEM used reservoir to go in place where it's supposed to be going, like that. Even got the label, awesome, and perfect fit. Hell yeah, brother. So I'm gonna go to the parts store real quick. I'm gonna grab my stuff, we'll come back, and then hopefully we can button up the power steering stuff, and then we'll move into the dump tube. And looks like I got more room than I had thought. That's good. So I went to the parts store and I got the power steering belt, V drive, and part number is Master Pro 7312, and I'm about to install it right now. So I went over there, and then I had to rush back home to go pick up my trailer, which is from the guy that I rent here locally. He has a 14-foot trailer, which is perfect for the wagon. And I came home to try to turn on the van, and it's missing a few cylinders. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, and I don't think I'm gonna pick up the trailer. And if that's the case, I'm probably gonna have to hot boy this to the dyno tomorrow morning. But I just realized I can't put this on yet until I swap the crank pulley, which has the groove for the belt. This is going to be interesting. That didn't seem to be an issue at all. So what had happened was we went to the junkyard, right? And I had my 1/2-inch Milwaukee impact, this guy right here, and I had brought the crank pulley socket, which was the 19 millimeter, the oversized one, not realizing that single cam is 17, so I didn't have the right socket to pull off the pulley from the junkyard. And man, it was a pain to try to remove the crank pulley off the engine from the junkyard. It was like seized on there or something. We had to remove the starter, jam something into the flywheel to get it to stop, use a giant breaker bar. We broke one breaker bar right here trying to take it off, and Leo had another one. We were able to use that one to break the crank pulley bolt loose and buy the crank pulley. So yeah, I don't have the actual crank pulley tool. I just used an impact style 17 mil, and seemed to have come off pretty easy. So now I'm gonna pull that crank pulley out, get this one on, and then we can put the belt on. All right, guys, so we have the power steering system fully installed. We got the crank pulley, 1000 UGGAs, we got the belt, power steering, bracket, cooler, all secured, tightened down accordingly. And now we can move on to the dump tube for the wastegate. I don't want to turn it on yet and bleed the power steering system. I did buy fluid as well when I was at the parts store. I don't want to turn it on just yet because I don't want to get the engine all hot and have to work in this area. So it looks like I have more room than I had thought. I thought this was going to sit more higher, and then it's going to be like kind of in the way of this guy. So I got a couple different ways to run the dump tube. I can go straight, go down, I can curve it that way, I can curve it this way. I mean, I'm going to find whichever way makes it easier for me. Now, I did try to do the dump tube a little while ago, so I kind of already have like a bunch of random cut pies that I made, and I'm going to use these guys as well as the tube right here, stainless, to route the dump tube. And we're just going to go ahead and mock it up, see what it looks like. If it looks good, we'll weld it up. All right, guys, so this is my complicated dump tube. This is going to be shortened, obviously, because I just want to make sure that it's going to be pointing in the right direction. The reason why it's such a weird shape is because I want to keep it tucked so it's not like, an eyesore being all up in this place right here. It doesn't touch the power steering, hopefully, after I tack this all up, but it is pointing where I need it to go. So I'm shooting for between the downpipe, the charge pipe, and the traction bar right here in this general area, and it looks like it is headed in the right direction. So if I just butt this up right there, right, kind of hold it in place, you can see we are not touching anything down there. So I'm not worried about vibration, breaking off the welds or whatever the case may be. And I'm about ready to tack this up. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so I got everything all tacked up right here, looking spiffy, and we are cleared with the power steering. It is kind of close. Kind of tacked this a little too forward, which cocked it really close to this guy, but it's not touching. That's all that matters, and it looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this guy off, and we're going to weld this all tonight. Dump tube all done. Not the greatest welds, but you know what? I mean, it looks decent to me. But yeah, that's that. So this is the last piece to throw into the engine bay here, and then that's pretty much how the engine bay is gonna be from this day forward, or this night forward. So I'm gonna put this guy back on, and then I'm gonna measure the bottom. This goes way past the traction bar. I'm just gonna cut it flush. The thing about the dump tube is when your wastegate is in the engine bay, you guys want to make sure that you route that are the homeless guys riding little pit bikes to the house down the street, picking stuff up and going into the creek. Anyways, the dump tube for your wastegate, you guys want to make sure that it clears the engine bay, whether you're going out the hood or underneath the car. You don't want it to be short like this and have the dump literally in the engine bay, because everything is going to turn freaking black with all the excessive boost dumps that the wastegate you know, releases. I'm gonna turn the car on right now, and I'm gonna start filling up the power steering system. I'm crossing fingers none of these hoses are brittle or broken or anything like that, so that we can just bleed it out, and you know, hopefully everything works out well with the power steering system, because it has been long overdue. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. No. Start engine and run it at fast idle, then turn the steering column lock to lock several times to bleed the air from the system. Lock to lock. Oh man, definitely a lot better than when we didn't have the pump installed.
This year, our communities need our support more than ever. So let's do more than celebrate the spirit of the season. Let's live it by giving back to the small businesses that have given us so much, like BRFITTINGS. Oh
yeah.
Owners, Daniel and Shireen.
Smooth as butter.
We are first-time business owners. We own the Bay Area.
Dog. Light check, light check. Highs, lows, emergencies, parkings. Emergencies in the back, license plate. Yeah. You really can't see too much, but I'll tell you what, the power steering is 100% working, baby. Hell yeah, brother. Sorry, I gotta drive my high beams on just to get some lighting going on. Ooh, so smooth, baby, so smooth. Oh, wow. Okay, neighbor, I see you. All right, guys, so that is gonna wrap it up for this video. We made some major progress on the Rescue Civic Wagon. We get the power steering system back into the car, 100% working. We got the dump tube made up. I'm gonna grab a few more things, stack it in my bag for tomorrow drive, and you know what I'm saying, like I'm super excited to get this car tuned, and I'm kind of curious to see what it'll do. Bone stock D15 B2 engine, non-VTEC with an eBay turbo kit. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. I truly appreciate it. And if you guys want to see the dyno video, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.